Okay. So it took me a while to get a hold of this recording, very specifically. And basically, Zizo is under this impression that he did good, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to be reacting to the video. I've already watched a little bit of it, but I'm going to go back to the start because this guy, this guy's really bad. But I'm going to go back to the start and let me arrange my screen and close a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, if Zizo won, then I'm gonna have to eat my
the guy was
words.
like a bumbling retard or whatever, but
Let's see. Zizo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, bro.
Yeah, do you want to challenge Mason?
Do I want to challenge Mason?
Yeah.
It's really late right now. I don't know.
Ooh.
Oh my
W
God.
duck.
W
Fine, bro. Like,
Oh shit, he's piping up? Okay, let's do this. Awesome.
okay, well, what's the proposition that Mason is willing to spread on the rhetorical table like some jam?
That wasn't funny.
I mean, I prefer if you just say something you're confident on, and we can debate about that if you want. If I know about it.
What are you confident about? What's your best topic?
Veganism.
I mean, my best topic's probably veganism or like abortion because they're really easy to argue. But I don't know. I don't know if you want to.
What's your position on veganism?
Pro-vegan.
Are you pro-vegan? This like stands. Okay, sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Why are you vegan, or why are you pro-vegan?
Because it's like seems pretty bad to like just murder and like rape a bunch of animals for food.
I mean,
cringe and
I feel like that sentence in itself is loaded. When you say something is murder, like that entails it's like immoral or bad.
Yeah, okay, we can troll. Sorry, I'll just replace it with killing.
Like, I'm so confused.
So,
It means the
killing
same
animals is
thing.
bad, so I'm just gonna ask you why, I guess.
Yeah, like they are conscious, and I'm not a big fan of the whole like suffering gig.
So if they were unconscious,
The
you'd
suffering
kill them.
gig.
No. If they were like temporarily unconscious or whatever, there's a continuation of consciousness, and that psychological continuity is also something I value.
So basically, the trait that you value that posits that both animals, or animals or just any entity in existence that ought to be valued is the trait of consciousness. Yes.
The trait of consciousness is
Okay. So like, I guess you just want me like to kind of name the trait then, like if we're gonna progress it. Yeah, I'll give you two traits, right? So the first trait is gonna be nutrition and actually I'm just gonna give you both at the same time. Nutrition and the instinctive want to eat the animal.
I find innocent babies to be quite nutritious, and I instinctively there's this base desire in my body that makes me want to like to eat them. So is eating babies immoral, or is eating babies moral? And then the other example is if both of these traits are like necessary for it to have like for it to be moral to eat them, right? Then it'd be like, okay, if you had the instinctive desire to eat something and it wasn't nutritious, would you say it's immoral to eat it? So would you be immoral for eating a hamburger? It's like, no, you aren't, because again, even though hamburgers aren't that nutritious, McDonald's food isn't that nutritious. Under his view, we have an instinctive want to eat like McDonald's, and McDonald's isn't very nutritious. So under his view, then eating McDonald's is immoral, and that's just another very clear reduction.
Oh no.
Okay. What do you mean by nutrition?
Yeah, like for example, chickens are like crazy nutrition. Like you have the instinctive want to eat them. And
also, to be clear, we're omnivores. Plant food seems to be more nutritious than actual like meat or like actual non-plant food. If you get what I mean, it seems to be more nutritious off of like my 2.5 seconds of searching it up. So if it's more nutritious, then would you also say that like we are like morally obligated to eat the most nutritious thing? So anything that's not like the epitome of what's nutritious, that's like immoral? Is that the claim? I'm so confused. Like, where's the good performance at?
When you eat them, you drain like a lot of protein, for example.
Sure, it provides you nutrition or whatever. That's true.
Yeah.
I understand. There are like other things that provide you nutrition.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And like we eat them.
Gotcha. Wait, do you think it's okay to murder something that you? You think it's okay to like murder and like rape something?
Okay, so broccoli. I don't like broccoli. I have an instinctive desire to like stay away from broccoli. Whenever I see it, I don't want to eat it. Like, but broccoli is very nutritious. So, am I immoral, or like does this piece of broccoli that I have possess more value now, since it doesn't fulfill the two traits that would be needed for it to be okay for you to eat it? It's like very simple.
For food, if it like provides you nutrition and you want
Well,
to.
I don't know about rape. Like, no one ever said anything about rape. But let's talk about the killing.
But isn't that what they do?
Sure, we
when
could do
they-
the killing
if it's in
thing.
conjunction with us having like the instinctive desire to eat it, then I would say yeah.
Yeah, sure. So if I have like an instinctive desire to eat like a person and it's like nutritious, you think it's like good to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. But as humans, we don't.
Wait, say it one more time.
He
Yeah,
agreed we
absolutely,
should
but
be
as
we
humans,
should be
we
allowed
don't.
to eat
There's no
humans.
reduction there.
Wait, so we should be allowed to eat humans. So in cases of like people who are psychopaths, right, and people who don't function as well as regular people, you'd say that under their like moral view, or in fact, there are literally islands full of people who are cannibals. So what does he mean? Does he mean as if that in those like scenarios it would be moral to eat them? Your anti-vegan argument is shit. Never use it again. Thanks. This guy's terrible. I don't know. He thinks he's tier 2. He's terrible. But yeah.
Wait, gotcha. I don't understand. The reductio is that you think you think it's okay to eat humans if somebody like wants to, and
it's not just about a desire. It's about an instinctive desire. Like humans are.
I don't know what the distinction is.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you the distinction, right? So, for example, let's say there's like a really edgy human who watches like.
Let me actually write some of this down. Things. Let me pause the recording too, because I don't want to waste any of your time. I'm back. The questions are all on the screen. You can read it if you want.
And now all of a sudden he says, "Oh, I want to eat humans because I want to be a vampire or something." That's not going to be the same as me being built and designed to eat animals intuitively, like from.
I don't know what you mean by built and designed, like from.
Humans are built and designed to eat meat, and if you correct me if I'm wrong, humans are also made of meat. So when you say that like we have this intuitive desire, this instinctive desire, people on the North Senegalese island and people on like multiple other islands within the world have this instinctive desire to want to eat humans, and they also humans. You could say that they're also quite nutritious, but if nutrition is the thing that we value here and makes it so that we should be allowed to eat them, then would you be saying we're not morally justified in eating a hamburger because in certain scenarios hamburgers are not actually nutritious and don't actually benefit us? I don't know, I'm so confused.
Your nature or whatever. Like the only sort of thing there is that you have a desire for it. If you have a desire for it, wait, to be clear, if you have a desire for it based on like the structure of your brain or whatever, right? Is that the sort of thing you're talking about? You have a desire for it?
I don't know, like I'm not like really educated on the sciences, but I'm just saying like whatever like causes
obviously
to eat animals even like as a child.
Well, it doesn't.
Humans didn't eat each other, but they ate animals, right?
Wait, to be clear, so there are like plenty of things that cause like a want to eat animals, right? So I can imagine like a person who's raised vegan, right, probably just doesn't want to eat animals, right, because they have socialization not to eat animals. Mm-hmm. And you would say that it's wrong for that person to eat animals?
No, I would say that's the nurture aspect. It's not the nature aspect.
Wait, I don't understand what the nature aspect is then.
Yeah,
how do you even have like...
I thought he said that it was an intuitive desire, but if our intuitions and our intuitive desires to eat meat are shaped by how we're raised, then wouldn't that also just mean there's moral in that case? But then if we switch it around and we also say, oh, well, it's actually due to our nature. Well, in the scenario which like humans... or in the scenario which like we're hardwired to eat meat, but meat is not nutritious for us, would it be immoral for us to eat meat? And then it's like, under his view, we would be, right? And then we know that there are multiple meats that he eats on a daily basis, right? And those are the meats that people usually advocate for, that he eats, right? And they don't seem to be nutritious for us, and plants actually seem to be more so. So you'd say that we have a stronger moral foundation to believe in veganism other than any alternative.
Proof that that's like a thing that exists?
Just the nature aspect?
Yep.
Yeah, like we can. I think it's observable in the real world. Like for example, if you have like cavemen, like what's it like? Let's say even 100,000 years ago. Or let's say even like longer than that. It's actually a lot longer than like 1,000,000 years ago, right? Those humans who were like unattended, they didn't have like any like natural society, like natural moral system, like naturally ought to eat animals.
Wait,
like,
to be clear, hold on. What you're gonna say?
Also, people who were cavemen back then, they didn't know, they didn't like have any form of access to the one. I mean, he could say that under his view, very specifically, that like we were raised that way, right? But would it just be the case that the reason why we want to eat like animals in that scenario is because they were the only available food source? Like, I'm so confused.
Say what you're about to say is just bad. So if we're talking about like nature versus nurture, nurture is presumably going to be environment, right? Like we agree on that.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
Gotcha. You understand that the environment they're in is like the biggest thing that contributes to whether they eat animals,
Thank
right?
you.
Like if they aren't in an environment where animals exist, well, they're not going to want to eat animals. We agree with
That's
that.
what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry, that was a yes or no question.
I'm saying like I thought you meant like the people around them, like influence them. Like that's what I thought you meant by environment. Obviously, if there's no animals, obviously they would not eat the animals. Obviously, that's like trivially true, basically. But
Gotcha. Wait, so
This
to be
guy
clear,
does
the
not want trivially
environment
true
is going to be
means.
the thing that determines whether that person has a desire, right?
To
eat animals.
Not that desire to eat an animal. When you say, "Oh, there's an animal in front of them who have that desire,"
No, I'm talking about the sort of desire you're talking about. You keep talking about this instinctual desire to eat animals. You say it's from nature. You say they're born with it or whatever. Yeah, and the thing that I'm saying is, well, if there are no animals that exist in their vicinity or they don't have access to animals, they're not going to want to eat animals, right? And that's going to be environmental. That's not going to be natural. So I just don't understand if you agree with that, you understand that their desire to eat animals is predicated on environment.
Okay, I kind of get your claim a little bit better, but what I'm kind of trying to tell you is that if in both situations, like we had the vegan or whatever, like he was raised in a vegan family, he never saw an animal or whatever, right? If it's the case that an animal was put in front of him in both situations, then all of a sudden he would want to eat the animal.
Do you have any evidence for that?
Huh? I could
have any evidence for that?
I could
Wait, say it again?
find studies on that, yeah.
Okay, wait, to be clear, have you seen studies on it, or are you saying that you're going to look up studies because you don't have any evidence to support your... Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's not a good argument. Like, obviously the environment is going to be the thing that it's predicated on, right? If we agree that a vegan person... Wait, well, no, you can't... real quick, you can't disagree with that without... Well, actually, you can disagree with that without evidence. That would just make you be, like, retarded.
Oh, no,
real quick, like, the sort of thing that I'm talking about is if we think of both of these scenarios, right, where... you know, a caveman or whatever is going to be like acting on instinct, whatever. Well, if they're going to be acting on instinct and, you know, the only thing that determines whether they want to eat an animal is going to be this sort of natural inclination or whatever, right? Well, then if there are no animals, they should still want to eat animals, right? Because the environment isn't the thing that has an effect on their want, it's the natural inclination. But you agreed that, in that scenario, real quick, you agreed in that scenario that they wouldn't want to eat animals, right? Which means that the environment is the thing that has an effect, not the natural inclination.
Yeah, let me elaborate it this way, right? Although it is a yes or no, I don't think it's like exactly the yes or no like we want. It's going to be kind of a yes or no, which they're going to still have the want, but they cannot identify the want.
You just don't have any proof for that, though.
Yeah, that's I'm going to get studies right now, but I'm about to cook some studies.
Okay.
I
promise you're not about to cook up some studies, bro.
I'm about to cook up some studies, bro.
He's very confused.
Instinctive.
Wait, do you not have them prepared already?
No, this person said they made up the argument.
Like as we speak right now.
Wait, what studies is he trying to like bring up? Yeah, he's trying to bring up studies that we have some instinctual want to eat animals or whatever. Like,
yes,
I mean, if we don't have any evidence, and we know for a fact, and we both agree that the environment is going to predicate some desire to eat animals, right? Well, then it's more expected under the hypothesis that the environmental thing is the thing that determines it than the natural thing, right? Because we have evidence that the environment has an effect, but we don't have any evidence that the natural inclination has an effect. So that's it. I mean, like if you don't have studies, that's fine, but that's just like a loss. Like you just
No, I'll get to the studies. No worries. I'm like
okay. To be clear, you do agree that if you don't have studies or any actual evidence for that you just lose the topic, right? Because we do have evidence for the environmental hypothesis, we don't have evidence for the natural.
Not necessarily, but just give me a second.
What do you mean not necessarily? Hold on, you're being very unclear. So let's go over this one more time, okay? We agree that evidence has been put forth, and you agreed to the evidence that the environmental state of a person has an effect on whether they want to eat animals. You also agree that we don't have any evidence that the natural inclination to eat animals exists, right? If there is more evidence for the environmental hypothesis than the natural hypothesis, then we ought to believe the environmental hypothesis. That's it.
Like, studies, right? Then what happens?
If you give me studies and the studies are actually good, like that would support your position. That's fine, and we could talk about the traits in terms of reductios. But you don't have any studies, right? You don't have any evidence. So right now in the Well, that's fine. You could say as for now. As for now in the debate, you're losing the topic.
No, for now you just asked me to bring the evidence. Like, this is just asked me to bring this.
Yeah, for now, I'm asking you to come and bring
look,
something.
there's literally nothing for me to say about this because the loss plays out itself. Like, he's making an empirical claim, has no form of evidence, and it's like, oh yeah, nutrition. So like, again, all of the questions that I've asked, and I'm gonna say them for all of the people who maybe you can't read. It's like, is eating hamburgers not allowed if we have an instinctual desire to eat it, but it isn't nutritious? Is eating rocks allowed? Or is eating rocks immoral if it gave me no downsides, but it gave me also no nutritious value, right? And I had the distinctive desire to eat it, right? Again, it just seems as if he just like has no sort of response to these reductios. It's like very clear. Or the other example would be, would it be okay for me to put you in a factory and like kill you and do all of these weird stuff to you? All on the basis that, oh yeah, simply I just have an instinctual desire to do so, and you're very very nutritious, so I should put you in a cage and I should be allowed to like manipulate you and kill you and assault you so that you do my bidding. It sounds very very stupid to me.
That would make you not lose the topic. That's it. You're losing the topic as of now. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about losing. I just think we're not.
No, I do know about losing because you don't have any evidence for your claim. We do have evidence that both of us have agreed to for my claim.
Evidence for your claim?
Let me go press insync. Never mind, I'm going to press insync later. Fox is in this really bad server, but it's fine. Anyway, back with the debate.
The specific claim is that environment has an effect on somebody's desires to eat animals, and you said that you agreed with that, and we both agree with that.
Yeah, like my position was like, it's to an extent, it's just that you can't identify necessarily the want because like you have that instinctive desire, like as a like the same way.
Yeah, you could just say the instinctive desire exists, but if you don't have evidence for that, you're not. There's no evidence. There's no evidence for what you're saying at all.
Also, like negate your point as well. You understand that?
Wait, one more time.
If I provide this, you understand it negates your point as well, right?
Yeah.
Do we know this like foreplay about whether or not he has any evidence?
As much time as you need. I'm just telling you that there are no amount of seconds that I can give you that are going to make you win the topic because you won't find the evidence.
What evidence? You don't know me, bro. You don't know me the way like
I do know you. I do know you enough based on the conversation. I know that you're not going to find the evidence. I also know the topic better than you. I've looked into it more than you. I know you're not going to find the evidence. That's better than you. I do know the topic better than you. Obviously, I've just demonstrated that I know the topic better than you. So, I don't know. Do we want to just like sit here in silence and wait around while you find evidence for your point?
No. I'm just typing.
Yeah, you've been typing for the past 5 minutes while we've been talking.
No, you asked me to explain. No. Just it's okay. It's okay. I just
that was a bit ago. We're waiting.
I don't know. I'm so confused. Like,
no need to be so rushing.
Does he actually think he's
good? I do know how long this is going to take. It would be like an infinite amount of time because we'd have to sit here until you find the evidence that doesn't exist. So
there's no way he actually thinks he's good, bro.
What evidence you trying to find? Like environment, fucking.
He's trying to find evidence that people have a natural inclination to eat animals. And that the environment isn't the thing that has an effect on it, but he agreed the environment is the thing that has an effect on it. So right now he has to find evidence that there is a natural inclination that's not just environmental, which he's not going to be able to do. So
yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure there's like what logic behind it. I don't think there's
the anthropological evidence for it would literally just be like a correlative factor, right? It would just be people have eaten animals throughout all of history, so we assume that people naturally want to eat animals, but. I mean, that's not evidence, right? Because animals have also appeared in people's environment, and that's the thing I was talking about. So, I mean, that's it.
That's what have argued behind it, saying like.
Well, he could have argued that, but it also would have made him look like a dumb fuck, like he does now. Because to be clear, it wouldn't have helped him a lot better because I would have just said the same thing that I said that he agreed to. So, I mean, it would have just been a really bad look for him. Like, there's no thing that he could say in this conversation that's a good look for him because he doesn't know the topic that well. That's all.
That happens, you know.
Yeah, it happens. It happens with people like this.
Oh no, dude! You're just making fun of her, bro.
I know, I'm being mean.
Oh, you're mean, bro.
I mean, I don't know. It's just the debate's over, bro. There's nothing else to talk about.
No, there's no debate. It's over. By the way, Clue, I gave him examples. By the way, like even then.
I gave him
an example of like a prehistoric human, like a caveman in a cave, right?
This guy's an idiot.
Okay. Isolated, even then, like he's still like want to eat meat, and like
the way that you interpret it.
Okay, yeah. Zizo lost.